the environmental pollution. Basically, we are producing a lot of things in our day-to-day basis. Like we are producing food, we are eating food, we are carrying those food in some bags. It might be jute bag, it might be plastic bag, it might be paper bags also. So this all activities, they produce some or the other kind of pollutant. So first thing, we will be classifying what are the pollutants that are in our environment. Next, we will be going through that these pollutants, how they are mixed in our environment. Like if we burn coal, then it releases oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, carbon, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, arsenic, mercury. So how it is mixed in air. Next, how the smog is formed. If this air, which is polluted because of the smoke of the coal or some industry, then during the inversion of temperature, when this smoke is converted into smog, then how this thing happens, how this phenomena takes place, this we will be studying in smog. Now, after going through the outdoor region, if we'll come to indoor region, there are also various kind of pollutants that we face every day. There are pollutants in paints. There are pollutants in the substances that are applied on wood, like varnishes, etc. So these things we need to know that where are the pollutants. If we will see the things like soap, shampoo, or other things, it contains various kinds of chemicals, which are also included in our daily part. So it just get included with us. They get inside our body also. So how these things, how the questions are being framed on these parts, we'll be seeing them. Then what is fly ash? We basically discuss the coal thing. So when we burn coal, there is an ash formation. It comes in the form of smog or smoke. So this particular component is fly ash. We'll be studying that in detail. Now, after this thing, that where there are various, India is very vast geographically. So at various regions, there are various other different levels of pollutions. Like Delhi is having one of the highest pollution levels you might be feeling here right now. And there is some regions where there is less pollution. So different regions having different kind of pollution levels and different components of pollutants. Those we will be studying here. Then after studying air pollution, we have water pollution. Like we have seen the lake eutrophication, that after the adding up of some kind of nutrients, the algal bloom occurs. Now this algal bloom becomes harmful for the lake and its ecosystem. So similarly, the water that we are having, like river, underground water, coastal water, this also gets polluted because of the human activity or some natural causes. We'll be studying them in detail. Then there is soil pollution. After Green Revolution in India, if I take a case study, that as a Green Revolution, we the Indian system has outgrown in rice and wheat system. We have huge production of rice and wheat, but what effect it had made on the land. So we'll be studying them in detail, like addition of fertilizers, chemicals, pesticides, insecticides, those extraction of underground water large scale. So this has created some kind of pollutants in the ground, which has led to hardening of the ground, and the water does not get penetrates inside the water because of this extraction, because of high salinity, because of hardening of the surface underneath. So we'll be studying this in detail. Now other factors are noise pollution, radioactive pollution, e-waste. Now e-waste is very important here because consistently there were 2 to 3 questions on e-waste from 2016 to 2018-19. So we'll be studying solid waste, e-waste, them in details, that how the waste management is done. There are different kinds of waste, different category of waste, biological waste, solid waste, water waste, e-waste, electronically generated waste. So we'll be studying them in detail. After that, what is thermal pollution? If we are using electricity in this room, So where this electricity comes from? It basically comes from in India particularly, the thermal power plants. Those are generating the electricity. Now these thermal power plants are situated at some region which are away from the city, but it cannot be kept too much far from the city because it will include a transition or transportation cost of electricity. So we'll be studying those factors in detail. After that, there is plastic pollution, that how plastic is affecting overall air, water, soil, marine. So every ecosystem it is affecting. How it is done, we'll be seeing them in detail. Then there is bioremediation, the techniques that are used to improve the environment or to reduce the pollution of that ecosystem. It is bioremediation. So we'll be studying those in details. And there are other factors like acid rain and environmental pollution and health. Now I have a question here on of 2020 and 2015. First, we'll consider 2020 question. What basically it has asked in 2020 that what is coal ash? About coal ash. And in 2015, it has asked about fly ash and coal as a fuel. So basically, we can see here that UPSC is asking something, but on that level, it is taking the same question forward at another level or with another aspect. So we need to have a 360-degree view of something that has been already asked. And those questions which are of daily routine, it affects our environment on daily basis. So coal ash. Consider the following statements. Coal ash contains arsenic, lead, and mercury. Okay. Second statement is coal-fired power plants release sulfur dioxides and oxides of nitrogen. Oxides of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide. This statement is correct. Now, coal ash, it contains some amount of arsenic, lead, and mercury. This thing is also correct. If we will see the geology of coal, that how it is formed, where it is formed, how much time it took for the formation of coal. So if we will burn those coal, then in the fly ash or the coal ash content, those minerals will be included. Okay? They will be included in very minute amount, but they will be included. So if in shorter terms, it will won't harm that much. But for longer duration, like 50 years, 100 years, 150 years, they are obviously going to harm the environment. Now, third statement is high ash content is observed in Indian coal. High ash content. Now, high ash content, why we are saying? In other countries, it is low ash content. In India, it is high ash content. So we need to know that in India, the maximum amount of coal which has been found, it is neither anthracite, neither bituminous. But the thermal power plant requires a high level of coal or high grade of coal which is to be burned because it will create low ash content. But because of the limited resources, we use the coal which is of high ash content. So this statement is also correct. So answer will be D, it's 1, 2, 3. Now coming to the 2015 question, I'll read it. With reference to the fly ash produced by the power plants using the coal as fuel, which of the following statement is or are correct? Okay. Now first statement is fly ash can be used in the production of bricks for building construction. If you have read the policy or forget about policy, if you would have seen the new building construction in Delhi or in your city also, then you would have seen that there is a brick of gray color, which is lighter in weight and which is about same durable, which is of red bricks. So nowadays the fly ash are being used. It is made a part of the policy that fly ash has to be used for the production of bricks. So first statement is correct. Now, second statement is fly ash can be used as a replacement for some of the Portland cement contents of concrete. Okay. So fly ash can be used as a replacement for some of the Portland cements contents of concrete. Okay. So here basically what is happening, that as we have seen that the fly ash has been used for making bricks. So this on the same phenomena, fly ash, it is mixed good with the gypsum, or when it can act as like gypsum also. So because of the gypsum which is present in the cement, it can be mixed with it. Okay, so this option is also correct. Now third option is fly ash is made up of silicon dioxide and calcium oxide only and does not contain any toxic elements. Now, if we will see this in detail, that as we have discussed here also, that what coal ash contains, it contains arsenic, lead, and mercury. Now, fly ash is basically one of the form of coal ash. It is one of the components of coal ash. So basically, these three components will also be included here also. So this statement becomes wrong. So we can see that if we have done a good analysis of previous year question this side, if we have solved this question and we have make a note of it or we have marked this thing, then we will be easily able to solve this question of 2020. So here the option will be 1 and 2 only. This statement is wrong. So we can develop this kind of approach. We can solve few questions very easily, of which we don't have very depth knowledge. But we have seen the previous year's questions, that how the UPSC is asking or framing questions. What is the demand of UPSC at that particular question. So we need to understand that thing. If we understand this thing and we analyze them properly, we will be able to solve a lot of questions like this very easily. Next topic we'll be saying. Next question, we have another question here. It is basically on pollutants. So first question of 2014, second of 2011, and third of 2013. Basically, these are the previous year questions of same age. But here, if we will see that same approach of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, this can be applied on the coming years. So here the question is the pollutants which are released by steel industry. The pollutants which are released by steel industry. At second question, it has asked which of the above are the emissions from coal combustion at thermal power plants. This question we have seen earlier also, but we will be discussing them with regard to their options, that how the options are being created for confusion. Now third, it has asked the acid rain is caused by pollution of environment by. Okay. Same options, three aspects. What are the three aspects? First is steel industry. Second is thermal power plant. And third is acid rain. So we need to know that yes, I have oxides of carbon. Now, what are the significance of oxides of carbon? How it acts as a pollution at different industries? How it is different from other kind of pollutants? So I need to have a basic knowledge, because these questions have been asked frequently, and this question have been asked on the same basis on 2021 also. So here, if we'll read the options, in the steel industry, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide. If we know the contents of coal and the ferrous oxide or the iron ore, then we will be able to solve this question. We have seen this question earlier also. Now in this 2011 question, we have seen this question earlier also. We have discussed it. Now the main point we have is 2013 question, which is on acid rain. Now, acid rain is caused by the pollution of environment by. So, how is acid rain formed? What are the aspects of acid rain? So, if I want to know, define what is acid rain, basically, this is water. Okay. when it is mixed with the oxides of sulfur, it will form H2SO3. This is basically sulfurous acid. Okay, I am just trying to make you aware that this will be lead to form this thing. Now this gas is in air. This H2O is in air in the form of water vapor. It is in the form of vapor. Now this acid is a weak acid which is also formed in the air only. So if we'll go by the options, then we have sulfur dioxide in only one option. If we'll go with the same methodology, then nitrous oxide, it also reacts with water to form nitrous acid. So it will lead to formation of acid rain. Now here carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. It leads to it doesn't lead to formation of weak acids. So basically we have answer here nitrous oxide and sulfur oxide. So we can develop our approach that SO2 or NO2 or nitrous oxides, how this are be able to use as different levels. Like it is used as a form of pollution. It can cause diseases to human beings. It can cause acid rains. It can affect them. Then this acid rain will fall on ground and it will affect soil, leading to soil pollution and soil degradation. So this will be our approach, like how to solve this kind of questions in examination. Now we have a section here of renewable energy. Basically, what are the renewable energy? If I have something that if I consume it and I am able to renew the energy, renew the source, or the source is unlimited, then this kind of energy will be called as renewable energy. This energy does not get extinguished. So it also has classification like according to the source. Now it includes solar energy. On the solar energy, with the lead of India, initiation of India, it has formed International Solar Alliance. Okay, so International Solar Alliance is basically the group of countries which are basically lying between the tropics. They are lying basically between the tropics, that is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. These countries have vast amount of solar energy insolation. So they can harness this energy, this potential into electricity energy. So this is the aim of ISA, that is International Solar Alliance. After that, there are luminescent solar concentrators. Now, concentrators, you might be knowing if you have read earlier that uh, they are certain kind of arrangement of mirrors. These mirrors reflect the light to a single point. If there are mirrors, if these have sunlight, they will be reflecting it at one single point. So this will be able to have concentration of solar energy at one point. So due to concentration, the energy at that point will be very high and it will lead to we can use or harness this solar energy. Now, second is wind energy. We have various kinds of plants, wind energy farms or plants at the various coastal areas of India and other countries also. But in India, we can see that in Tamil Nadu, Andhra coastal areas, Gujarat, some at some point it is also in Kerala. So we have wind energy. After that, there is hydropower. Now we have seen that there are in news the various dams that are being constructed on the Himalayan region. So this Himalayan region basically have larger dams also and smaller dams also. What are their effects on the environment? We'll be studying them. Then after that, there is ocean thermal energy. In ocean thermal energy, uh, basically there is difference between the density of ocean. Now this density comes because of the two layers. One will be warm layer, which is above, and one will be cooler layer or cool layer beneath it. Now we know that if there is warm layer and there is cold layer, then there will be convection. Convection of this warm layer and cool layer. This will lead to formation of a convection current kind of thing. Now, the technology has been created where there is large difference between the warm layer and cool layer. It will lead to formation of ocean thermal energy. Next, we have cogeneration. This will be studying in detail. Now, waste to energy. Waste to energy is very important now because there are various techniques have been or technologies have been devised on the basis of which various kinds of waste are being generated into energy or on usable form, like pyrolysis. It is a heat kind of energy, so etc. There are various kind of energies, plants actually. So there is geothermal energy also. There are fuel cells. There have been various questions asked on fuel cells in environmental aspect also and science and technology aspect also. So we will be seeing those in details. We have a question next is on biofuels. See, a 2021 question, 2017 question. 2021, India's national policy on biofuels. In 2017, it is asking, is it possible to produce algal-based biofuels, comma, but what is or are the limitations of developing countries in promoting this industry? So we need to have some aspect or basic knowledge of what are the algae-based biofuels. We'll be seeing this question after this one. So India's policy on biofuel or India's national policy on biofuel, it has been implemented last to last year. So it is asking that which of the following can be used as raw materials for the production of biofuels. If you will see, there was a notification or we need to know a thorough knowledge of this thing. But this kind of question can be eliminated also on the basis of analysis. If I'll see that cassava can be used, damaged wheat grains can be used, groundnut seeds can be used, horse gram can be used, rotten potatoes can be used, and sugar beet. So if I'll try to analyze this thing, so which of the point contains sugar, like sugar cane residue, that is bagasse or molasses, they can be used as biofuel. So sugar beet also contains sugar. So this will be, I can say that yes, it will contain, it can be used as a biofuel. Then rotten potatoes, it contains lot of starch and it is rotten. It is not good for consumption. So it can be used for biofuels. Now if I try to eliminate, then I have here two options, 5656. Now I have the query between 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'll see groundnut seeds, okay, it is neither written it is rotten or it is not fit for consumption or kind of other thing. So can I use groundnut seed for production of biofuel or a good groundnut seed? Then it will be wrong. If I'll say horse gram, which will be used, I can say no, because it is neither damaged or nor it is rotten. But damaged wheat grains, which is bad for human consumption or animal consumption, can I use them? Yes, I can use them. Similarly, cassava also I can use them. So my answer here becomes 1, 2, 5, and 6 through a very basic approach between the, if I'll analyze the statement or options between them only, that how these things are working. Here rotten is used, damaged is used, but here nothing is specified. But I need to know something more than what is cassava, what is groundnut and horse gram, like that. So this we have seen approach. Now 2017 question. In 2017 question, it has asked, is it possible to produce algae-based biofuels? But what is or are the likely limitations of the developing countries in promoting this industry? So algae-based biofuels, they are being produced from algae which are harnessed in large seas or large oceans or land. Now this will be seeing with the options. Now production of algae-based biofuels is possible in seas only and not on continents. Okay. Now if we will see, analyze this question, that if I have a barren land, it is, if I have a large barren land and it is not being used for something, then I can say that the land can also be converted into a facility where I can develop this algae-based biofuels. So this statement will be wrong. Now, next it has asked me that setting up of engineering the algae-based biofuel, okay, production requires high level of expertise. Basically, it requires high level of expertise and technology. This here, till here it is correct. But until the construction is completed, so I have a doubt on this thing. How the doubt arises? Until it is constructed, we only require technology at that point. But after it is constructed, then if the technology is required or not. Basically, we require the technology after the completion of construction of plant also. If I am constructing the plant, I need technology afterwards also, that how this algae-based biofuel will be processed and what will be the limitations, how I can improve those biofuels, how can I can have larger production of biofuel. So this will be the stage that I will be requiring better technology or better things or expertise. So this option is also correct. Sorry, wrong. Now third option is economically viable production. Economically viable. It is asking, production necessitates the setting up of a large scale facilities which may be, which may raise concern, ecological and social concerns. Okay. Now why this question is here, that economical viable production necessitates the setting up of a large scale facilities which may raise ecological and social concern. If we will see that various plants of thermal or wind or hydel power plants, then they have raised some or the other kind of concerns, like there will be release of some kind of pollutants or some kind of gases in the atmosphere. First thing. Second thing, a large chunk of land will be used for that thing. Large water is being required, chemicals will be required. So this thing will raise some or the other kind of concerns. So this option will be correct. My option will be here 3 only. Okay. So we can see the approach, or we can see the pattern of UPSC, that the questions were on biofuels only. But here the biofuel was based on algae and here there was national policy. So we need to know, we need to have an approach, a clear idea about what is biofuel, what are its policies, what are its implementations, what are its environmental concerns, environmental effects, what are good benefits, positives, negatives, everything we should be knowing here. Next I have environmental issues. Now environmental issues is like, first thing, we it is based on different kind of regions and different kind of uh, products or different trees or plants, etc. First is Indian Himalayan region. There are various environmental issues on the Himalayan aspect. In geography, if we have seen that, if I'll make it like this, so this is the basically Himalayan region of India. There is Himalaya in the northeast also, but there are smaller Himalayas. Okay, we have here bigger Himalayas. Okay, there are different. So these Himalayas, they are formed tectonically, and here the Indian plate is still moving in this direction. It has slant a little bit on this side, but the size or the length or height of Himalayas is still increasing by few centimeters every each year. This will raise concern of tectonically this will raise concern of tectonic issues which will lead to the earthquakes. Now these earthquakes can lead to landslides. Okay, landslides. So this is one part. Now the human part. What human part is? For tourism, all of the India loves to go to Uttarakhand, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, etc. And there are various kinds of hill stations located in this region. Now, if I need access to this region, I need to cut these rocks and I need to make some roads. I need to make roads for transportation. I need to roads to go there. There should be other facilities also. There should be market. There should be settlements. So if I cut this mountain and I make here settlements, so that I have basic facilities. We are constructing dams. Okay, so these things, these alterations in the Himalayan region, they are leading to various kind of environmental concerns. Because this region is away from the coastal region or mainland region, it is difficult here for waste to be disposed. So this is leading to accumulation of various types of wastes at that point, which is not being looked after. So there are various other regions, there are various other concerns also, which is related to Himalayan region. Similarly, there is environmental issue with regard to sand mining. See what happens basically in sand mining. If I have a river course, if I have a river course, okay, so in this course there will be deposition of sand at one point. They will be cutting and there will be deposition. There will be deposition of sand. Now what basically the illegal sand mining is, I just remove this sand from this riverbed and I go it and sell it to the construction people. So the sand which is removed from here, it will lead to decrease in the water channel. It will lead to decrease in the water channel. Now the sand which was being able to have a lot of good impact on the ecology of the river, now the disadvantages will occur from this point. There will be increase in salinity. There will be increase in salinity. The ecology will be damaged. Ecology of the river will be damaged. The animals or fishes, they will be striving hard because a lot of calcareous or other kind of organisms or vertebrates animals, they live in this sand. So they will just get vanished because of removing this sand. So there are various ecological concerns with regard to sand mining in India. Other, we can see the options of palm oil. Now, what is palm oil and what are its environmental issues? Can anyone explain here? Would anyone like to volunteer that what is the palm oil issue? What is palm oil issue? Okay, so I I will elaborate it. Palm oil is basically a crop, or it is a plant of equatorial region. Now this palm oil is being used in cooking industry, cosmetics industry, chemicals industry, etc. Now there is a huge demand in this palm oil, and this palm oil is majorly imported from the equatorial countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, etc. What the issue is being raised, that in India the various tracts are being cleared, or in the equatorial countries the various tracts are being cleared of forest, equatorial forest, which are of good biodiversity or high biodiversity forest, and this palm oils or plantation oil is being raised there. So this oil production is leading to various kind of environmental issues. Okay, we'll be seeing this thing in detail in further lectures. Now there is colony collapse disorder. What is colony collapse disorder? To whom it is related? Would anyone like to specify or answer? What is colony collapse disorder? Anyone? Okay. So colony collapse disorder is basically related to honeybees. They are related to honeybees. If I'll see the hut of honeybee or a colony of honeybee, they are like this. Okay, somewhat like this. Now here the honeybees are storing honey. Okay, what humans do? We put some fire here. There is smoke. The honeybees just go away. We just take this out. We take out honey from here and we just throw this away. Okay, honey is now extracted. Now, what of these honeybees? What is of these honeybees? These bees, they lost their home. Now, because of losing their home, they are unable to go anywhere else because they have some kind of uh, relation with their home. So, this relates, or this kind of thing or extraction of honey is leading to colony collapse disorder, which are being seen in the honeybees. So this is basically colony collapse disorder. Now next is impact of radiation. What is impact of radiation? What are different kind of radiations? What are their consequences, their environmental hazards? Impact of radiation on human beings, other animals, where it is increasing, where there is polar vortex formed. So because of this polar vortex, the incoming radiation has increased in few years. So this we'll be seeing in detail. Now genetically engineered trees. We'll be seeing this point also in detail, that what are the genetically engineered plants or genetically modified plants and organisms, which plant are allowed in India, which of them are not allowed in India. So we'll be seeing this thing in detail further. Now next is cost of environmental degradation in India. So if I'll just make some waste outside my home, for example, if this waste got degenerated in few days, it will lead to releasing of some kind of gases, some liquids, and there will be some kind of insects or organisms produced in those region, and this will be polluted. So what this can do, how this can harm, there are various types of pollutants which can harm us or the environment. So we will be seeing what is the cost of those things that degenerated our environment, and what will be the cost to just redevelop those things which have been degenerated. If I cut a tree, if I take a very simple example, if I cut a tree is basically a carbon sink. It sequesters carbon. in the long term. And in long term, if I cut a tree of 60 to 70 years and just you make furniture of it, but this tree, it can be converting a lot of carbon dioxide in the gas in the atmosphere into the stored carbon. So this is an cost of degradation or cost to this cost to our environment. Now, next we have a question on sand mining and issues related to sand. Now, the questions are of 2 years, 2018 and 2019. So, they were asked back to back. So, the question I will be reading, which of the following is or are the possible consequences of heavy sand mining in riverbeds? Okay, we have seen one diagram here with related to riverbed. Okay, can you recall this one? Now we'll be seeing the question. Now, first option it is giving that decrease salinity in the water. Okay, we have seen that if the sand is removed, the salinity will increase because the water will not get filtered because of the sand. What happens here? This water comes, if it is saline, it will go through the water or it will go through the sediments deposited. The sediments are very fine in deep. So because of this fine sediments, there is filtration and water becomes less saline. If I remove this sedimentation or the sand from this region, it will lead to increasing of the salinity of river. So first option is my wrong. Now second will be pollution of groundwater. Now how it will lead to pollution of groundwater? This is water channel. Now the sand here has been removed. Now there is a water table beneath somewhere here. Okay. This is the river channel. This is the sand deposition in this region. And this is the water table. From here, water is percolated downwards and it is collected in this region. If I'll just remove sand from this region, if I remove sand from this region, so what will happen? This will be water, there will be ground level, okay? The polluted or infiltrated water will come into the this groundwater table. It will mix with the groundwater table and it will lead to pollution of this groundwater. It will lead to pollution of this groundwater. Okay. So pollution of groundwater, it is okay. And lowering of the water table. Basically, it is very simple here. It is very clear. If I am removing this sand, then the water table will be decreased. So this option is also correct. So my option here will be 2 and 3. Now I'll see the question of 2019. What 2019 is specifying in next year. Now it is asked with reference to the management of minor minerals. Okay, specifying the word minor minerals in India, consider the following statements. Now the first statement is sand is a minor mineral according to the prevailing law in the country. For this thing, if you have read it in the notification or somewhere, then you will be you can answer this question very easily. That sand is a minor mineral or it is a major mineral. So we'll be saying next statement as state governments have the power to grant mining leases of minor minerals, but the powers regarding to formation of rules related to grant of minor minerals lie with the central government. If we will see the Mining Act Rules and Regulation 1957, okay, it is an act of 1957. If we will see that, then we will be able to know that the rules and regulations that are being formed by the central government, but the implementation of those rules and The leases which are being given, it is done by the state government. So this statement here, it is correct. Now the third statement, it has asked that state governments have the power to frame rules to prevent illegal mining of minor minerals. Now basically, if we'll see the riverbeds, if we'll see the rivers, then there are various like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna in the southern region also, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. So the states have been given power to protect the rivers from illegal sand mining or other extraction of other minor minerals. So this statement is also here correct. So here I will be having 1, 2, 3 as correct option. So I have one more question of 2020 here. I'll just move this some upward. Okay. Okay. So consider the following minerals. This is 2020 question, and the statements are consider the following minerals: bentonite, chromite, kyanite, and sillimanite. Now it is asking in India, which of the above is are of officially declared as major mineral. Now if we will see one, there is a twist here. If you would have observed one thing, that in 2020 it has asked about major mineral, and in 2019 it has asked about the minor mineral. Okay, there are very simple twists and turns that UPSC takes, and it is just unpredictable. But if you have read what is minor mineral in this part in 2019, you will be able to solve this question in 2020. So basically what it is asking is, which of them are the major minerals. If we will see closely, then we can have that chromite is a major mineral. So here I have options of A and D. If I know about sillimanite, what is sillimanite? Sillimanite is basically one of the content of sand. So it will be basically a minor. So my fourth option will get crossed. My answer will be here 1 and 2. Okay. So just by knowing the aspects of one question, if I know what is minor mineral, if I have read that question in a very good manner, if I have analyzed it, I have searched about it, that what is minor mineral, what are different minor minerals that have been notified in India. If I just go through them once, I would be able to know that what kind of things can be included in minor mineral, and on that basis I can separate what are the minerals that are of major category. So I can eliminate the others and I can get my answer here. So can you have the approach that how the things are going? 2018 question on sand mining, 2019 question sand as a minor mineral, and 2020 question as what are the major minerals. Okay. So we will be moving forward with what are the environmental impact. So we were on environmental impact assessment. So what is environmental impact? What are the different things? Like we have seen in the previous slides, there were various kinds of pollutions, there were various kinds of concerns, there were various things that needs to be seen, like Himalaya region. There are various projects are being going on. There are issues related to sand mining, that how the sand is being removed and what are the ecological disasters. The colony collapse disorder, if it is impacting on bees. If the bees are being dying in this same rate, because of this reduction in the population of bees, there will be less transportation of pollen grains, because of which our agricultural farms and tracks will be harmed, because they help in agricultural output, also in plant diversities. So all of these things lead to the environmental issues. Now this environmental impact, because of the projects that are being made by the human beings, they need to be assessed properly. Now, how they are assessed? A project has been made, it needs to be verified properly. Now, verification is done. Now, there should be review system. There should be public hearing. That what public of that region or that district or that village, what they have to say about that thing. If the project does not harm the village or the people living in that region, or there is a less harming of the environment, then those projects can be given a go. Else, this project should be stalled. So, this all procedure is being done through environmental impact assessment, EIA, that is environmental impact assessment. It consists various cycles that how the project should go. There are different levels at ministry level, then state level, then district level, then Gram Sabha level. Basically, Gram Sabha here gives a go after the majority is giving yes, it is good for us. Then after that, what are the drawbacks and recommendations? There are various loopholes through which the projects are implemented without the consent of the Gram Sabhas or the districts. So how there should be remedies? What changes has to be made in this environmental impact assessment plan? So it is specified here. Then what is the draft environmental impact assessment 2020? So this we will be seeing further, that how the new draft has been made. What are their good aspects, positive aspects? What are the negative aspects? How it will help the people in that region? How the public hearing is being made? Are the days increased for public hearing or the days reduced? So we'll be seeing them in detail further.